Today we're going to dive into how one of the big three major credit reporting agencies may owe you money. This is one of the biggest settlements that the FTC has collected on in the history of tenant screening matters.
Look, you guys, sit back and relax. We're going to show you how you can claim your piece of the $23 million settlement, and we're going to tell you how TransUnion was breaking the law.
The CFPB reached a settlement with TransUnion LLC where they had to pay $23 million.
Wow, that's a lot, Gloria.
You know, Marvin, this is a big deal.
Yeah, you know, this could have stopped people from actually renting a house, renting their first dream home before they got into home ownership. This is really bad. All right, Gloria, let's break down this settlement. So the overall settlement was $23 million, but $15 million went to compensate the victims or the people that were involved in this false information.
Wow, Marvin, that's huge.
$11 million went to compensate the consumers that was involved. Then $4 million went to the CFPB Civil Penalty Fund. So keep that in mind. We're going to talk about that later.
Okay, Marvin, so let's talk about the other $8 million that's missing. The CFPB ordered them to pay because they were failing to put freezes on people's credit report. And that can really affect you, Marvin, because you may want to freeze because you don't want anyone to steal your identity. But they're telling you that they're putting this freeze on, but they never did put it on. That's major.
And you know, a freeze can help protect you from identity theft. It's something very important.
Marvin, this is really crazy because we entrust that they're doing the right thing. That's why it's really important that you pull your credit and you make sure that you put some type of watch or alert by having a credit monitoring. This way you can know what's going on with your credit at all times. We talk about this, Marvin. We tell our students this. This is an important factor.
You know, Gloria and I have had a credit repair company for years. So we've seen this happen over and over, and that's why we're doing this video, so we can show you how to claim the money if you got affected by this. All right, the name of the company is TransUnion Rental Screening Solutions. This is very important to remember. We always tell our students this, or our past clients, when you're trying to rent an apartment, make sure you know where they're pulling that information from. That's very important in case there's a mistake and you have to dispute. And we're going to get into how you can dispute later.
And also, Marvin, this company is owned by TransUnion. TransUnion also provides background checks to landlords, identity checks. They also do background screenings if you're trying to get a job. This is a game changer. So if your information is incorrect, just think about how that could make you feel.
And look, this not only affected people trying to rent a house or an apartment, this actually affected landlords. They may have had to hold the property longer thinking that a tenant was not qualified, and with this inaccurate information, they may have been qualified. So landlords ought to be upset as well.
What's crazy about it, this has been going on for years. I remember we had several clients that came to us when we were repairing their credit. They had inaccurate information on their credit report, Marvin, and it was just really crazy because they didn't even realize that it was there, because there are other bureaus out there besides the major three. It may not show up on your regular credit report, but there's other disclosure reports out there that are owned by the big three. And it'll show up on there, and you may not even know this, Marvin, and they're reporting inaccurate information, and you're going to apply to rent a home or an apartment, and you can't even get it, and you don't understand why.
The thing that we do know, Gloria, when they report inaccurate and incomplete information, they're breaking the law. The Federal Credit Reporting Act requires that TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian report accurate information. First of all, it should be removed from your credit. And also, because they didn't do what they were supposed to do, they should be penalized. So now let's get into the top 6 reasons, Gloria, of what they did to cause this mess.
Okay, Marvin, let's go ahead and break them down.
All right, reason number 1, they made it look like consumers had more than one eviction. So how would that look to a landlord? I wouldn't want to rent that house to anyone. All right, reason number 2, they were reporting an eviction was filed but not dismissed. That would make a big difference to a landlord if he was actually going to consider that tenant. Reason number 3, they would list an award judgment from a landlord on a consumer's credit. So it would look like they had back rent that they owed to another landlord. Guess what? I'm sure as a landlord, you wouldn't want to rent to somebody that already has a judgment on them.
Reason number 4, when it's stating a landlord is owed money when the case was actually dismissed. Just think about if you don't owe money and it's stating that you may owe money and the case was dismissed and it's showing up on your file. That's crazy. Number 5, not showing the consumer who the vendor is that's reporting this negative on their credit. So that means that they can't dispute it. That right there is most definitely against the law.
And they should fix that.
Reason number 6, not adding a security freeze when you call and ask for one. This one touched me, Marvin, because I've called several times and asked for a freeze, and TransUnion told me the freeze was there and it was not there, and someone was able to use my credit. So I can really understand why the CFPB is charging TransUnion with not being truthful to its customers.
Look, and if you think you're a victim of identity theft because they didn't add this freeze to your credit, make sure you contact the FTC and also the CFPB to file a complaint, because they're supposed to take that stuff off of your credit within 4 days.
I agree, Marvin. That's why they set aside a fund for customers that are going through things like this. These are things that you should know that's going on out here, because it's not fair to you if you're being denied for a house or an apartment because you didn't know that these negative items were on your report.
But now that you know, it's time to defend yourself. Make sure if you haven't done it, contact the CFPB. And they haven't actually settled the claim yet, but we're going to give you the link in the description below for 2 things. We're going to give you a DIY system in case you need to repair your credit or get an eviction removed. And then also, we're going to give you the link to the CFPB so that when they come up with the settlement and when the money is available, you know where to go to claim it.
Marvin, this story is very heartfelt for me because I know what it was like to try to get something removed off your credit and you couldn't find the information, or the credit bureau wasn't reporting it accurately. Marvin, and that's one of the things that is the law. You know, credit bureaus are held to a higher standard where they have to report complete and accurate information. And if you know anyone that may be going through something like this, share this video with them, because this may be able to open their eyes and help them and give them some type of direction on where to go and how they can get help.
You know, if you guys got any comments about this where you were able to get it removed, or you went through this with TransUnion, give us some comments below so we can help others. That's what this community is all about, that Gloria and I are trying to build. And that's why we need the comments, so we know how to make the next video for you guys. You know, by letting us know, hey, I went through this and I was able to get it cleared up, or I'm still going through this. I need you guys' help, and reach out to us. Gloria and I are here to help. We've been in credit repair for years, and we've helped thousands of people get out of tough situations. And look, we made another video about another settlement, but it's very time sensitive. So you know what I want you to do? Make sure you check out this next video. I'm Mr. Smith.
And I'm Mrs. Smith.
And we're here to help empower your finances.